Welcome to Lesson 48, Incident Response. The moment prevention has already failed and your discipline becomes the last line of defense. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Breaches will happen. The real question isn't whether, it's how fast you contain them. Back in 2017, attackers sat undetected in networks for over 200 days on average. By 2024, thanks to EDR and mature response practices, that dropped to about 10. And as a junior help desk tech, you are the first responder. The first 30 minutes you handle will decide whether this becomes a contained incident or a company-wide disaster. To handle that pressure, the industry uses one shared playbook, the NIST framework, defined in special publication 800-61. 6 phases: prepare, detect, and analyze, contain, eradicate, recover, and lessons learned. The key word is cycle. This isn't a checklist you finish. It's a loop where every incident you handle teaches the organization how to prepare better for the next one. Skip the lessons phase and you're guaranteed to fight the same fire twice. So let's zoom into that detect and contain beat, because this is where you live as a help desk tech. 3 rules carry the whole first 30 minutes. Don't panic, don't shame the user, and whatever you do, don't unplug. Your instinct will scream to reboot or yank the cable. Fight it. Reboot wipes RAM where the malware actually lives, and unplugging can trigger an attacker's dead man switch. Instead, isolate at the switch or let your EDR do it. Keep the machine running. Document timestamps and screenshots in real time. Escalate to Tier 2 and security by phone within 5 minutes, and keep comms tight so you don't tip off either the attacker or the user. Now zoom out and see the whole rhythm. NIST gives you 6 phases in one continuous loop. Prepare ongoing, detect in minutes, contain in hours, eradicate over hours to days, recover across days, and lessons learned in the weeks after. Each phase has its own tools: EDR and SIEM for detection, firewall rules for containment, Veeam for recovery, a post-mortem doc for lessons. And here's the part most teams skip. Lessons feed straight back into prepare. Skip the PIR, and you will repeat the same breach. That's exactly how the industry pulled mean time to detect from 200 days down to 10. Zoom into the middle of that loop, and you hit the move rookies get wrong. They try to fix before they stop the spread. Think trauma medicine. Short-term containment is stopping the bleeding. Isolate the host. Disable the account. Block the IP. Ugly is fine. Fast matters. Long-term containment stabilizes the patient. Rebuild from clean. Patch the entry vector. Rotate every credential. Then eradication hunts down every artifact, because one missed scheduled task means recurrence in 30 days. Recovery is back to normal, but watch closely for 90 days, because attackers love coming back the same way they got in. Once recovery settles, the real learning happens in the post-incident review. And this is where most teams quietly sabotage themselves. 4 ingredients make a PRR actually useful. Stay blameless. The junior who clicked the SIM isn't the target. The system that let it through is. Build an honest minute-by-minute timeline from your ticket notes, EDR, and SIEM. Run 5 whys, not 1. User clicked is never the root cause. And close with action items that have a name and a date, because without an owner and a deadline, you'll be writing the same PR in 6 months. Theory's done. Let's pressure test it. 4 real tickets, the kind that land in your queue on a Tuesday. Ransomware on a user's laptop. Isolate, screenshot, phone IR, don't unplug. Suspicious PowerShell from EDR. Investigate the process tree before you dismiss it. Email sending spam, reset, check sign-in logs, and hunt for forwarding rules attackers love to plant. And a vendor breach notice. Verify it's real, then rotate credentials and check for reuse. Pause on each one. Decide your first move, then compare. This is where reflexes start. Before you close this lesson, lock in the language. These 12 terms are the vocabulary every ticket, alert, and post-incident report will throw at you. Know the difference between an event and an incident. Know that containment stops the spread and eradication removes the artifacts. Know that MTTD is detect MTTR is respond, and dwell time is what the attacker had before you noticed. Speak this language and senior IR will treat you like a peer instead of a pager. Now the myths, 5 things juniors believe that turn manageable incidents into disasters. Don't reboot the infected PC. You wipe RAM resident malware and destroy evidence. Don't investigate alone. A 5-minute escalation call beats an hour of solo poking. Don't blame the user who reported the click. That user is a hero. And modern IR is blameless. Don't stop at containment. Eradicate, recover, and run the PIR, or you'll see the same breach again in 30 days. And never pay the ransom. Fund clean backups instead. So here's what locks in: detect, contain, recover. Anchored by the NIST 6-phase cycle, isolate instead of reboot, escalate inside 5 minutes, and keep the post-incident review blameless. Lock those 4 in and you're already operating like a real first responder. Next up is Lesson 49, the Stage 6 capstone, where we unify all 7 security lessons and walk through a real breach end to end. Finish that, and you've graduated security basics. Stage 7 cloud begins right after. See you there.